The first sound is not a gunshot. It is breathing. Slow, controlled, measured. A man stands in the middle of falling snow, his boots half buried, his breath turning white in the cold air. Christmas lights flicker behind him, red and green reflections dancing across the side of an old battered car. His knuckles are split open. Blood drips onto the snow. Dark and quiet. He checks the magazine of his gun without emotion. Tonight, an entire gang will vanish from this city, not because of rage, not because of hate, but because a father never forgets the weight of his child dying in his arms, and this father chose Christmas for a reason. They once called him invisible, a quiet black man who worked hard, paid bills, and stayed out of trouble. His name was Elijah Cross, and before the night, his world collapsed. His life was small, honest, and full. Elijah lived on the edge of the city where buildings aged faster than people. He worked long shifts, came home exhausted, and saved every smile for his son. The boy was still small enough to believe his father could fix anything. Broken toys, scraped knees, bad dreams. Every December, they walked the streets together, counting Christmas lights, pretending the cold didn't exist. Elijah carried his son on his shoulders, listening to his laughter echo between buildings. Those moments made him feel unbreakable. Then came that Christmas night. The streets were crowded, music spilled from stores, snow mixed with cigarette smoke and laughter. Two white gangs collided near a shopping block, old enemies fueled by alcohol, pride, and stupidity. Insults turned into fists. Fists turned into guns. Elijah heard the shots before he understood what they meant. He turned. The sound was sharp, final. His son's body jerked violently, then went limp. The small weight on Elijah's shoulders disappeared, crashing into his arms. Blood soaked into Elijah's jacket, warm against the freezing air. The world stopped. Christmas music kept playing. Lights kept blinking. People screamed, but Elijah heard nothing. He fell to his knees, pressing his hands against a wound that refused to close. His son looked up at him. For a moment, then his eyes went empty. Sirens arrived late. Police asked questions they already knew answers to. Witnesses vanished. The gangs disappeared back into the city's shadows. Protected by fear and money, justice never came. Elijah buried his son under frozen ground and stood there long after everyone else left. Snow gathered on his shoulders. His lips never moved. That night, Elijah Cross stopped speaking. From that moment forward, his life became preparation. At first it was just pain. Push-ups on cracked concrete floors until his arms failed. Sit-ups until his stomach burned. Running through empty streets until his lungs felt like glass. When his legs gave out, he stood back up. Pain became routine. Routine became discipline. Discipline became obsession. His body changed slowly, then completely. Muscle hardened. Fat disappeared. Reflexes sharpened. He learned how to take a punch without falling. How to fall without breaking bones. How to keep moving while bleeding. He trained in boxing gyms where nobody asked questions. Underground fight pits where money spoke louder than names. Old men with ruined hands taught him how to strike efficiently, how to break ribs, how to end fights fast. Elijah listened, learned, endured. During the day, he worked his job like nothing was wrong. At night, he became something else. One evening, he wandered into a junkyard on the city's outskirts. Rows of dead cars rested like corpses. Elijah walked past them slowly until one caught his eye. A rusted sedan, dented, forgotten, barely alive. He bought it with cash. The car didn't run. Elijah rebuilt it piece by piece. He scavenged engines, replaced wires, reinforced panels, stripped it down until it became loud, unstable, and dangerous. Ugly, but reliable. The car became a weapon. He learned to drive it like he learned to fight. Empty parking lots, tight corners, controlled drifts, high-speed turns inches from disaster. The car responded to his hands as if it understood him. Then came guns. Elijah studied them, obsessively. Pistols, rifles, shotguns. He learned how they jammed, how they kicked, how they killed. Reloading blind, shooting while moving. Shooting while injured. Targets stopped being paper. They became memories. His wife watched him disappear. She knew the man he used to be. Warm, gentle, quiet, but alive. Now she lived with a ghost who trained in silence and stared through walls. She wanted to stop him, wanted to scream, but every time she looked into his eyes, she saw the same grave she visited every week. She left for a while, not because she stopped loving him, but because she couldn't watch him die slowly. The past came back violently. Elijah hunted the gang without patience, without planning. Rage blinded him. He followed them too closely. Trusted anger more than strategy. They caught him. The beating lasted forever. Boots, crushed ribs, knuckles split skin, metal pipes broke bones. They laughed while doing it, left him bleeding in an alley, barely breathing. Hospital lights followed. White ceilings. Painkillers that dulled nothing. Elijah survived. This time, he learned. He studied the gang carefully. Names, faces, routines, crimes. Their leader's name surfaced again and again. Palaya was smart, ruthless. He ruled through fear and reputation. Police avoided him. Rivals respected him. Elijah collected evidence, videos, photos, recordings. He waited. One night, he entered a gang member's house silently. The man woke up tied to a chair, terror filling his eyes. Elijah didn't speak. He didn't have to. Fear talked. Information poured out. Locations, names, times, then Christmas returned. Elijah dressed slowly, black clothes, weapons laid out neatly. He stopped at his son's grave. Kneeling, he touched the frozen stone. His lips moved, no sound came out. He drove. The kidnapped gang member was dumped, alive outside a police officer's home. Evidence taped to his chest. Chaos followed. Sirens screamed at the gang's main hideout. 2 guards laughed and smoked. They never saw the car coming. Metal crushed bone. Bodies flew, blood painted concrete. Pelea heard about it and smiled. He assumed it was rival work. Ordered retaliation. Gangs clashed. Streets burned. It was Elijah's plan. When Pelea realized the truth, fear replaced arrogance. A bounty went out. $100,000 for Elijah Cross. Hunters flooded the streets. Gunfire followed Elijah. He bled, he fought. He survived. Then Pelea ordered everyone back. Elijah followed. Inside the building, death waited. Room by room, he moved, quiet, efficient, merciless. One woman hesitated him. He hesitated back. She shot first. Elijah survived, bleeding heavily. He entered Pelea's room. The fight was savage, brutal, desperate. Elijah won. Pelea died, choking on fear. Elijah collapsed as sirens approached. Snow fell outside. Christmas lights blinked. For the first time since his son died, Elijah felt something close to peace. Not happiness. Not forgiveness. Just silence. And silence was enough. Subscribe, share and like The Black Shadow. For more interesting stories, this is my new channel. I need your support, guys.